Good morning YouTubians, it's Kermit's Ghost. It's Monday the 19th of June 2023. Hope everybody had a great Father's Day yesterday, whether you're celebrating your father or you are a father yourself. I'm currently at the bandstand in Brighton that was designed by Philip Lockwood in 1884. Don't know if I've shown it before. Anyway, I'm off to HMV as I've got 3 weeks of movies to catch up on as I've been away, and I will insert a little bit of footage from my holiday in this video. It'll only be about 5 minutes, so feel free to skip through it as it's not movie related at all. So let's head up to HMV, see what's on the shelves, and grab a coffee because it's been a long time since I've had a latte. Ooh. Anyway, let's go. I'll see you all up there in a bit. So here I am at the entrance to HMV. The TV screen in the window is featuring scenes from John Wick Chapter 4, and that is one of the titles that I need to pick up today. First title to show you is Night of the 12th, a foreign crime drama from Picture House Entertainment. It's from last year, and it's about a murder case that haunts its investigator. This is priced at $12.99. So next we have Pearl, a slasher horror from last year, co-written and starring Mia Goth, who's reprising her character in this prequel and origin story to X. Directed by Ty West, who also co-wrote and produced and edited the film. The Blu-ray is priced at $14.99 and the DVD $9.99. So next is a dazzler media release of Stilltown Murders, telling the story of the first reported serial killer in Wales. Directed by Mark Evans, this aired on the BBC on the 15th of May this year and is priced at $19.99. So here are some titles that came out whilst I was away. I need to pick up John Wick Chapter 4 as well as Shazam! Fury of the Gods. This one as well, Tulsa King Season 1. Also, the Steven Spielberg Fablemans, which is handy, now they're in a 2 for $25. Oh, and 65 as well, so look out for those a little bit later. Next is Western Approaches, which was filmed using a serving merchant navy crew instead of actors and explains the importance of the stretch of the Atlantic to the west of the UK. This is priced at $16.99. The next title is from 88 Films, and it's The Bloody Judge, also known as Night of the Blood Monster. It's a horror from 1970 starring Christopher Lee and Maria Rome. Lee plays Judge Jeffries. He's a prosecutor of witches, and this has got a runtime of 84 minutes. Next is The Game Trilogy from Arrow Films, and this features The Most Dangerous Game, The Killing Game, and The Execution Game. This limited edition has a runtime of 281 minutes and is yours for $17.99. Next title is from the Criterion label, and it's Fists in the Pocket. It's an Italian drama from 1965. It tells the story of a man who desires to kill off his dysfunctional family. This could be yours for $22.99. Next is another Criterion release, which doesn't actually come out till next week. It's Smooth Talk, a romantic drama from 1985. This stars a recently deceased Treat Williams and Laura Dern, based on the book Where You Going, Where Have You Been? And this is also priced at $22.99. Next is the BFI music documentary I Am Weekender, directed by Chloe Ronette, and this explores the rave experiences, and this has a runtime of just 52 minutes, and it's yours for $16.99, carries a 15 certificate. Next is the 4K release of The Firm, a crime thriller based on a John Grisham novel and starring Tom Cruise, Gene Hackman and Janine Tripplehorn. This 1993 movie is priced at $19.99 and comes with a glossy slipcover. And next is the 4K release of Vanilla Sky, directed by Cameron Crowe and starring Tom Cruise, Kurt Russell, Penelope Cruz and Cameron Diaz. This is also priced at $19.99 and also comes with a glossy slipcover. Next is the psychological thriller Inland Empire. This 2006 David Lynch written and directed movie stars Laura Dern and Jeremy Irons and is yours for just $7.99. Wow, didn't notice that at the time. Next is the HMV exclusive 4K steelbook of Black Hawk Down, a war flick from 2001. Features 2 cuts of the movie and it has a runtime of 152 minutes. This could be yours for $29.99. And wouldn't you know it, there's another 4K HMV exclusive steelbook, this time Blade Runner 2049, and this 3-disc limited edition stars Ryan Gosling and Harrison Ford, and this is yours again for $29.99. And would you look at this? I think the staff at HMV missed me whilst I was away, as this was waiting for me upon my return. That is so sweet. Thanks, guys. I'll see you again on Monday.
Good morning YouTubians, it's Kermit's Ghost. Here I am on the Norfolk Broads. It's a beautiful day. This is in case you're wondering where I've been for the last 3 weeks. I'm on the river, it's a staycation. We're here because my mother-in-law has a very bad illness and we're staying in the UK doing staycations until we can go abroad eventually. It's beautiful, it's relaxing, there's no internet, it's a nice detox from YouTube and Instagram and all that kind of thing. No TV signal, nothing. It is beautiful, back to basics. And this is why I love the Broads so much. So here I am for the final part of this holiday vlog, short as it may be. I'm in a place called Horning. It's another beautiful day. The boat is right behind me. I'll give you a quick tour before we set off for a place called Wroxham. So there we have our pirate flag. Good way to identify the boat when there's many around. Our boat is called the Superior Light. And by the way, what a beautiful place. So we'll start with the back of the boat. You've got an upper deck there where you can steer the boat from. Got the stairs going up there to the upper deck. There's a staircase down as well, we'll get to that in a second. This is access through the back of the boat. It's also my cabin. The bed is messy. We've been on the boat now for 2 weeks. Television and a ensuite there. You got a little toilet, toiletries, window, and a shower. And if you remember, on my last boat, couldn't really stand up, always bumping my head. This is a little bit better. I'm 6'4". There's a little bit of clearance there, about 1 inch or so. So I can walk around quite freely, which is nice. Don't want to be bumping your head every turn. Let's go through to the rest of the cabin. Now, excuse the mess. A couple of steps up. Got a television. That's a bag of bird food. There's a seating area. Some stairs which go up to the top deck, which I will show you in a second. Got a couple of dogs on board as well. There's 5 of us on this boat. This converts into a double bed. Got another steering location here. We don't use this one because visibility is quite limited if you're tall, so we usually steer from the top deck. As you can see, it is nice and airy and bright. You've got a skylight as well, or double skylight. And then down these stairs, there's a kitchen area, another toilet, and another cabin at the front of the boat. Microwave, cooker, kettle, and a lot of cupboard space, down there. Now to get up here, access to the top. And just up these stairs. As you can see, the visibility from up here is a lot better. So much easier to drive from up here. Much better vantage point. And there's the geese, so let's quickly pop down, get some food for them. So we got a bowl of food. Look at the amount of birds waiting. These things are like piranhas. Okay, so we're about to set sail, so I will talk you through how to get the boat started. As to bow thrusters, we will need those in just a moment. Put the key in, make sure it's in neutral, turn it to the left, prime the engine for about 5 seconds, turn it to the right, and then we are ready to set sail. Thinking about it, all the times I could have worn my captain's hat, this is probably the time. Hey everybody, welcome back. Quite a bit to get through this week. However, the top 2 I'm going to review for next week. This was a gift for my children for Father's Day. I'll deal with that next week. And this parcel came from Imprint Films. I've not opened it, not watched them yet, and I will do that for next Monday because I want to give you my honest opinion. So we're going to crack on with what's left. Okay, first one to show you is Cheers, the complete box set from Paramount Pictures. This show ran from 1982 through to 1993, comprising of 11 seasons, and it's set in and around the bar of Cheers in the city of Boston, Massachusetts, which happened to be one of the original states to declare independence on the UK on the 6th of February 1778. It was the 6th state, I believe. Now this show has got very good characters. The bar itself actually is based on an actual bar called the Bull and Finch, which is in Boston, and they used the outside of that bar as the establishing shot on the show. So on to the cast. We're going to start off with Sam Malone, played by Ted Danson, who incidentally appears in all 275 episodes. He's an ex-pitcher for the Boston Red Sox, and now he's a barman and he's a womanizer and a sex addict, and he's pursuing Diane Chambers, played by Shelley Long, who, despite being very well educated, works as a barmaid due to unforeseen circumstances. Then you've got a couple of regulars. You've got Cliff and you've got Norm. Cliff is played by John Ratzenberger, who's a brilliant voice actor. He's a mailman and he thinks he knows a little bit about everything, which he doesn't. Norm is played by George Wendt. He's an accountant who sits at the end of the bar for as long as possible, and he was actually originally only going to be in the pilot episode, but they kept him on because he's such a good character. You've got Carla, played by Rhea Perlman. Nasty barmaid, tries to belittle everybody in the bar. I think her character had like 8 children in total. You've got Coach, played by Nicholas Colasanto, best friend to Sam, fellow bartender. He was called Coach because he used to coach Sam in baseball, but sadly he passed away before season 4 started. It's got Woody, played by Woody Harrelson, dim-witted, naive bartender, a great addition to the show though. And when Diane Chambers left, she was replaced by Rebecca Howe, played by the beautiful Kirstie Alley, and Sam obviously takes an immediate interest to her, but she does tend to lose the plot and he gives up on that idea as well. Also got Fraser Crane, played by Kelsey Grammer, who becomes a regular from season 5. Obviously he went on to have his own show, Frasier, which I've also got, so it's a good companion to that. And his partner Lilith became a main cast member at the end of the seasons. So you've also got guest appearances as well. You've got Christopher Lloyd, Bill Medley, Kate Mulgrew from Star Trek Voyager. Peri Gilpin actually pops up and she becomes Roz in Frasier. And John Mahoney, who was Frasier's dad, he pops up as a jingle writer in this. You've even got Emma Thompson and many, many more. Now, if you know Cheers, you're going to love it. If not, you'll probably think it's going to be very dated. I love this show, hence why I picked it up. And it's got an overall runtime of 6,626 minutes. But let's open it up and see what you get for your money. So here it is. It's exactly the same dimensions as the Frasier box set. I'm going to open this up because it's probably getting a lot of glare off this plastic, and I'll show you a little bit closer. It's quite a flimsy outer box, as was the Frasier box set. I'll take that out of there. So on the front there, not sure if you can make that out, but you've got Sam Malone, Diane Chambers, Woody, you've got Norm, you've got Rebecca Howell, you've got Carla, you've got Cliff, and you've got Frasier. And on this side you have an outline of the show itself. You have the logo on the top, and on the bottom there you've got the maximum room capacity 75 persons, which is a sign next to the door in the bar. And I'll go through quickly. You've got 3 discs in the first season, 3 on the second, 3 on the third, 3 on the fourth, 3 on the fifth, 3 on the sixth, 3 on the 7th, 3 on the 8th, 3 on the 9th, 3 on the 10th, and 3 on the 11th final season. So that was the complete box set of Cheers. Okay, next title is Wish You Were Here. It's a comedy drama from 1987, written and directed by David Leland, and it stars Emily Lloyd. In case you don't know who she is Trigger's daughter from Only Fools and Horses, and you may know her from the films A River Runs Through It, where she was dating Brad Pitt's brother Neil, or the war film Welcome to Sarajevo. But in this, she is playing Linda Mansell, a 16-year-old girl. Actually, filming started on Emily's 16th birthday. And in this, she's playing Linda, and her approach to life shocks people around her, including her widowed father, Hubbard, played by Jeffrey Hutchins, who was Mel Harvey in the TV show Benidorm. She starts to flirt with all the boys and throws insults at the customers at work, which leads her to lose many jobs. And all she's trying to do is get affection wherever she can. So she hooks up with a much older Eric, played by Tom Bell. You may know him. He played Jack the Hat McVitie in the film Craze. He manages to get Linda pregnant, and bear in mind this is set in the early 50s, so attitudes were very conservative back then, to say the least. Linda's faced with telling her father and dealing with the consequences of her and Eric's actions, and despite having moments of humour, this is quite a depressing story. This is filmed in Brighton, Bognor Regis and in Worthing, which I actually showed in a video, it must be a few months ago now, the Worthing Dome Cinema features in this. It's got a runtime of 1 hour 28 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So there's the slipcover, there's the cover, have exactly the same image, and this was priced at $15.99. But for that extra £1 you get an 8-page booklet and 4 art cards, which are also postcards. And that front cover image has been put onto the disc, so that was worth the extra £1, I think. So that was Wish You Were Here. Okay, next title is The Fabelmans, an autobiographical coming-of-age drama, and it's telling the story of how Steven Spielberg got his introduction to filmmaking, and it's said to be loosely based on actual events. In fact, Steven had the script for going on 20 years, but he didn't make the film because he didn't want to upset his parents, and his father, Arnold, passed away in 2020, aged 103, so here's the movie. Starts out in 1952, Steven would have been about 6 years old, and in the film he's called Sammy. He's being played by Gabrielle LaBelle. And he's taken to see the Cecil B. DeMille film, The Greatest Show on Earth, at the cinema, and of course it features that train wreck which sets the wheels in motion and inspires Sammy to film everything, really. His mother, Mitzi, played by Michelle Williams, supplies him with an 8mm camera and a train set so he can recreate a shot. His father, Bert, is being played by Paul Dano, an engineer who has to move with his work, which brings me on to Bernie, played by Seth Rogen, who moves along with them at Mitzi's insistence, which should have really been a red flag for Bert, but I'm going to leave it there in case you don't know the Steven Spielberg childhood stories. There's also Judd Hirsch as well as Sammy's uncle, and even David Lynch is playing a big influence on grown-up Sammy as the brilliant director John Ford. This was written and directed and produced by Steven Spielberg, and it's got a runtime of 151 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So the slipcover and the cover have the same image. However, there is a different image on the disc which looks like screenshots from the film itself. So that was The Fabelmans. Next title is 65, an action thriller from this year that was written, directed and produced by Scott Beck and Brian Woods. And in this movie you got 2 principal actors. You got a young girl called Cola being played by Ariana Greenblatt. She's only 9 years old. She's already set to star in a new Barbie movie. And you've also got Adam Driver, old Kylo Ren. And did you know that Adam was also a US Marine for 2 years? Neither did I till recently. Anyway, the film is about an astronaut called Mills, being played by Adam Driver, who is from another planet. He hits an asteroid, crash lands on Earth, but in our past, 65 million years before humans, hence the title. And the only other survivor is Cola, and together they got to try and survive the terrain and the dinosaurs that are roaming around trying to eat them. So in effect, it's a cross between Jurassic Park and After Earth. It's got bad reviews, but I will judge it when I watch it for myself. Now, the music is from Chris Bacon. I wonder if his middle initial is P. Think about it. He's done music for Wonder Woman, Source Code, and a few joint projects with Danny Elfman, like the Wednesday TV show that was on recently. It's got a runtime of 93 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So inside you have the front cover image of Adam Driver with what looks like a dead T-Rex behind him. So that was 65. Next is Shazam! Fury of the Gods, DC superhero movie from this year, directed by David F. Sandberg, who actually made the first movie, and I gotta say, I liked that film, I really did. Zachary Levi is back as a title character, Shazam, as well as the little boy who turns into Shazam, Billy Batson being played by Asher Angel. In fact, all the children from the first movie who gain their superpowers return for this one, as well as the foster parents as well. Now, I'm not going to go through all their names and their alternate names because I'll be here forever. I really do appreciate the consistency in the franchise though. That gets a thumbs up from me straight away. And also returning, now how shall I word this, the original Shazam who gave his powers to the new Shazam, he's here as well, being played by Djimon Hounsou, who's been in everything from Gladiator, which is getting a sequel made at the moment, Guardians of the Galaxy, Blood Diamond, everything, he's in everywhere. It's also Helen Mirren from most recently the Fast and Furious franchise and 1923 TV show, and Lucy Liu from Elementary, where she played Joan Watson. Now the premise of this, the pair of them, Helen and Lucy, are the furious gods, Hespera and Calypso, who want their powers back, and they will stop at nothing to achieve their goal. It's got a runtime, this one, of 130 minutes. Let's take a look inside. Okay, so we've got the slip cover and the cover, and they have the same image. This is in a thin case, whereas the first one was in a 14mm case, and it was in 3D, so that's a little bit annoying, but worse things happen at sea. You have an advertisement for Blue Beetle, another superhero movie that's going to be in cinemas on August 18th. And we have a plain blue disc. So that was Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Okay, next one is Tulsa King Season 1. Season 2 has been given a go-ahead, which is great news. This was put out on the Paramount streaming site at annoyingly 1 episode per week. What can I say? I like to binge watch. Now, this stars Sylvester Stallone as Dwight Manfredi, fresh out of prison after serving 25 years for a crime that he confessed to in order to protect a mafioso boss. So, as you would expect, as does Dwight, he wants to be welcomed back into the fold with open arms and a huge payout. What actually happens is he's disrespected and told to relocate to Tulsa as there's nothing left for him in New York City. So begrudgingly he does as required. He turns up in Tulsa, gets started on making a name for himself. Now things have changed for the last 25 years. He finds out that weed is now legal, so he puts this to his advantage and he strong arms himself into the business of protection of a local weed business and subsequent co-ownership, and this comes to the attention of 3 different parties. You've got the local deadly biker gang, you've got the crime syndicate in New York City, and the FBI, and it's complicated because he's stepped with a woman called Stacy, who's a senior FTA agent, and then she's working in a joint operation with the FBI. Great show. Stallone is on top form. Great characters. I cannot recommend this show enough. I'm so glad it found its way to Blu-ray. It's got a total runtime this of 348 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So the slipcover and the cover have exactly the same image. This, by the way, was $24.99. So this is a 2-disc set. And on the reverse of the cover, it lists episodes and special features. So that was Tulsa King Season 1. Next movie is John Wick 4. Now, if you've seen any of the other movies in the franchise, you know the score. It's more the same stuff. John Wick can hit everybody who gets in his way. I did go and see this in the cinema, but for the life of me, all I can remember is the staircase scene. Maybe that just stands out. I know I came out of the cinema having enjoyed it, but the whole movie is a blur. I know Keanu Reeves is back as a title character. He's joined on screen by good friend Winston, being played by Ian McShane, as well as the late Lance Reddick as the Hotel Continental's concierge. In addition, you've got Donnie Yen as the blind assassin, as well as Bill Skarsgård, Lawrence Fishburne, and the brilliant Clancy Brown. It's directed by Chad Stahelski, who did direct the previous 3 installments, which is always a good thing. And it's been confirmed that a 5th movie is in the planning stage, but not quite sure how they're going to do that or where it's meant to be set. I'm not going to say any more. As for filming locations, I know they use Germany. Actually, that reminds me, Scott Adkins is in this as well. He's very good, surprisingly good character, head of the German table. They also filmed this in France, where the staircase scene is, Japan and New York, obviously, because that's where the Hotel Continental is located. It's got a runtime in this of 169 minutes, so a long movie. Let's take a look inside. Slipcover and the cover have exactly the same image. And you have John Wick's initials on the disc. So that was John Wick Chapter 4. Okay, next and last is Steel Town Murders. This is from Dazzler Media. It's a TV miniseries telling the real-life story of the murders of Geraldine Hughes and Pauline Floyd, two 16-year-old girls who perished at the hands of Joseph Kaplan, who was being portrayed by Anura Bernard in this. And this is famous for being one of those high-profile cases using DNA matches. Kaplan did kill another girl called Sandra Newton on the 14th of July 1973. She was also aged 16. And then the murders of Geraldine and Pauline happened a couple of months later on September 16th. DNA matches did not occur till much later, in fact not till 1998, and there was a lot of issues solving the case. His wife Christine kept supplying him with an alibi. Fred West, a serial killer, was a person of interest as he was working nearby at the time. There was also a huge pool of suspects as development was happening around the M4 being built, and also Steelworks, which employed 13,000 men, and the Neath Fair, which meant a lot of out-of-town people visiting. Nightmare for the police. This is before computer cross-referencing was a thing. They were relying on logbooks and paperwork. Now, if you like shows on serial killers and true crimes, this is going to be for you. It's simple as that. This was written by Ed Whitmore, who actually wrote Riddington Place as well, and it's got a runtime of 240 minutes. Let's take a look inside. So the front cover image has been put onto the disc. So that was Steel Town Murders. So that was it. Have you seen any of those or plan to pick them up or just want to leave a comment, then do so down below. I will read every single one and try to reply if I have the time. Give the video a thumbs up, really does help the channel, and subscribe if you haven't. It's all free, why wouldn't you? On that note, all that's left to say is thank you so much for choosing my channel today and watching my video. Take care. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.